You ever had one of those days where you feel unstoppable? You're locked in, everything's ready to go, you're energized, crushing everything. And the next day, you can't even get yourself to the gym, can't get your socks on. So what's going on? It's not random. It's a little bit of brain chemistry called neurotransmitters, and we can learn to control them. All right, your brain runs on 6 neurotransmitters, which we'll get into a little bit later. These control your drive, your focus, your recovery, your mood. Most people have no clue anything about these things. But when you do understand them, you can unlock performance on demand as you need to. All right, first, 70% of your neurotransmitters are actually in your gut. So what that means is that if you have bloating, poor sleep, food issues, high stress, and you have digestive issues, you probably don't have the right neurotransmitters in the proper ratios, which is going to affect your motivation, your focus, your mood. So your gut health is equal to your brain power. All right, so we'll start with dopamine. Dopamine controls primarily motivation and drive and decisiveness. So that is your one that's going to get you up and going, get things up and running. Adrenaline helps you focus under pressure. But if you have too much, you're going to burn out. Acetylcholine helps with learning, helps with speed and clarity, mental processing. Glutamate is sharpness and anxiety. It controls some of that stuff and levels you out a little bit, which is also related to GABA, which calms you, helps with sleep, helps with stress regulation. Serotonin, everybody's heard about serotonin? That is one of the primary ones that is made in your gut. It is responsible for mood, stability, emotional control, and also helps with sleep. So if you get just enough of each and you've got them nice and well balanced, you'll have peak days, too little or too much, and you're probably going to crash and burn. All right, if your serotonin is down, your stress is up, your cortisol is up, you're going to have some bad gut health, which, as we already learned about, is where most of your neurotransmitters are made. So if you have a damaged gut, you now have less neurotransmitters, which causes worse brain chemistry, which causes decreased motivation, mood, and poor sleep, which you go round and round in circles because it just starts over and over again. It's not just the hormones, it's also the neurotransmitters that can do this feedback loop. All right, so if you feel you're burnt out, high achiever, you got most likely high dopamine and adrenaline for the go mode, but no GABA or serotonin, which does allow you to shut off and recover. If you're the overthinker, you probably have high glutamate and low GABA. So you're probably going to have some gut issues, some brain on overdrive, especially at night when you're trying to sleep. So that's one thing we want to clean up. If you are using caffeine, chances are you're pouring fuel on the fire. So just be careful with caffeine. We'll get into that a little bit in a future video. The procrastinator probably means you have low dopamine and you probably have low acetylcholine. If you can't start things and you have low energy and you avoid action, that's pretty indicative of low dopamine and low acetylcholine. All right, so what can we do with this? Training can work on some things, but not on others. So we'll get into this a little bit in the next video on how we can train for stimulating and regulating the neurotransmitters that we're most optimized for. It's also why you might feel better on certain foods. It's why some supplements might be hit or miss. Your brain chemistry is a fingerprint. Learning is the first real step, so we'll get into that in the next video. Just want to give a brief overview of all the different neurotransmitters that we're going to get into. Down below, drop me a comment. Which neurotransmitter sounds like your weak point?